You are listening to a Dynamic Works Productions podcast. This show is available on iTunes, Stitcher Radio Network, and many, many more podcast services around the world. You can find all our content, music, videos, books, podcasts, and more on our website, www.dynamicworksproductions.com. Have questions, comments, or concerns for us? Head on over to the social tab on www.dynamicworksproductions.com if you'd like to talk to us. Now, on with the show. Welcome to a special edition of the Fork in Your Ear podcast. I'm your host, as always, author, podcaster, gamer, occasional streamer, very tired person, Tim K.A. Trotter. And joining me is not my usual co-host, but the one, the only man that I can see in the Skype window wearing an Enchanted Forest shirt is our favorite fork guest, author Greg Smith.
I'm the favorite? Oh my gosh, do I get a t-shirt to go with my Enchanted Forest t-shirt collection? Because I actually have more than just this fun.
No, because we don't have t-shirts.
Damn it. Okay, I gotta
always
go.
on that list.
I'm gonna go back to the Lisbon call. It was more interesting.
Oh, but see, no one has any idea what you're talking about, though.
I know, exactly. That's the best part.
Yeah.
It's a throwback joke to nothing.
You know, I named one of my episodes recently Ball Pit Sex, and nowhere in the episode was that talked about. So,
I get the reference.
It happens. Do you?
I've been to Chuck E. Cheese before myself. No, I watched Twisted Metal.
Nice. Yeah. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I like the show.
Holy crap, was that unexpectedly good?
It was so good.
Just, my God.
Episode, yeah, no, Saul, my co-host for Nursing the Crypt, he messaged me when it dropped. He was like, "Are you watching this?" And I was like, "Watching what? There's like a million things going on in the world today.
Of course.
I don't know what you're talking about." He's like, "The only thing that matters, Twisted Metal. It's on the cock. It's out. You got to get on it." And I'm like, "Are we doing a podcast about it?" And he's like, "No, but we got to watch it because it's cool and you're dumb if you don't." And I was like, "Okay, dude." So I started watching it. I'm like, and he's back again. The cat is in the yard again. No, I was like, "You got to watch the show." And she's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Twisted Metal. It's on the cock. You got to watch it. It's the only thing that matters right now."
Can we pause with the fact that you call it the cock?
Yeah, no, what? You guys don't do that in your house?
No.
My grandma's like, what's that show that we were watching the other day? And I'm like, Bumkiss? She goes, "Oh yeah, it's on the cock." Yeah.
That's
She's
good.
Like that kid, he's so funny. He's got a bright future ahead of him.
I'm wondering if I can. I'm wondering if I can title this episode just "The Cock."
The cock.
Like, I know I say all kinds of shit on the show,
Just call
but
it political.
I don't know if I'm allowed to use words like that in the titles for things.
Did you call him Polo Loco?
Loco?
Yeah. No,
Sure. I guess. I don't know.
It's pretty close.
Sure.
Yeah.
Or you could go abstract, but in the same wheelhouse. You could just call it like a cock-a-doodle-doo. That's the name of the episode, you know. Because it's like, well, all right, well, you're referencing but we're not. So
no.
but yeah, no,
Yes.
Twisted Metal, like that, I feel has snuck up on everybody. Me and my wife, we were bored one Friday, like 3 weeks ago, and we were just like, we saw a trailer for it, and we're like, it looks kind of good. And then we watched one episode, and it was like, hey, that was pretty good. Let's watch the next one. All right, that was pretty good. Let's watch the next one. Okay, that was pretty good. Let's watch. And then before we knew it, it was 2 a.m.
5 hours later.
And we were like, okay, we have to go to bed. We'll finish this. Thankfully, we started on a Friday, and then we finished it Saturday morning. And we were just like, well, now I'm sad because it's over.
You waited till tomorrow. You waited, amateurs.
You know, sometimes trying to be an adult, you know, it just gets in the way of things.
Oh my gosh, that's so good. It was hard to stop. I'm not gonna lie. We were the same way. We're like, okay, no, we gotta save some. Like, we saved 2 episodes again. You know, also we're like, we'll save those 2 for tomorrow. It's like, okay, fine. And for me, playing the games and stuff like that, like getting the references for her, it was just like, oh, this is just a fun action comedy rom-com kind of show with a lot of stuff in it that
it's a lot of genres.
It's all those things wrapped into one with all the people you like, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, like Anthony Mackie just sells it right off the bat. Like that first 5 minutes, it's like, all right, yeah, no, all right, Papa Doc, bring it to me.
Yeah, our FERC listeners have I think heard me talk about it for 3 episodes in a row now on this show. But I had stated, just for your own edification, you know, Anthony Mackie fits this show in a way that he didn't fit season 2 of Altered Carbon. If you ever saw that show.
See, I watched the first 2 episodes and I just couldn't. I'm sure it's really good. I'm sure I'll go back and check it out now that I know that he's in it. But
I wouldn't call it very good. No,
it's very good.
Yeah, like that was a weird one because the first season was very good and had Joel Kinnaman, and then as it is body swapping, but you're the same person and different and sci-fi stuff. And then the second one had Anthony Mackie, and it was not in his acting wheelhouse. He was trying to be like the same character, and it was just like, it's not selling it at all.
Stop being this thing that you're not. Don't do that.
Yeah, it was just weird. Like, I could see in theory it was a good idea. It's like, okay, well, we don't have Joel Kinnaman. What's the next big Hollywood A-lister we can get? Okay, let's get this guy, and you know. But yeah, no,
when they went down the list and they finally got to Anthony Mackie.
No, you're probably not.
No, he's so good though.
Yeah,
I mean, he comes out of nowhere and just like whops you, like bam.
Yeah, I think he's very good when there's levity. I think when he does, like, I think he can do serious, but I think if there's like absolutely no levity, I feel like it's just not something that he as an actor is equipped to do. Not saying he's a bad actor. I actually like Anthony Mackie a lot, but like Twisted Metal, I was like, yep, like he just, yep, you know. And then yeah, great series. I guess we're just gonna keep talking about it every single episode of this show this year.
If you want something else on the cock to watch, then you gotta go watch Killing It. I mean, if you haven't seen that,
what's Killing It? I don't know what that is.
Oh my gosh, I don't even. You can't. It's layers like an onion. You can't just unpack it.
Okay.
It is. How do you even explain it? Hold on a second, because I'm gonna try to explain it, and I'm not gonna do it justice. So let me just do it a little bit of justice and get.
I can see Greg is clacking. He requires visual aids.
Yes, I do require visual aids. I require the interwebs to help me with this. Okay, because like you have comedian Craig Robinson. He's your main character.
I love Craig Robinson.
He plays a person named Craig, which I mean, fitting, right? And his brother refers to him as Gregory a lot, which I find hilarious, being a Greg, and Gregs and Craigs don't get along. But having him being called a Gregory makes me laugh, because if I had just called people Gregory in high school or junior high, that would have been so much funner.
Sure.
Because whatever, because it just makes him like
Sure.
Gregory. Anyways, killing it, just basically he's got big dreams, he's got high hopes, he wants to do big stuff and not just be a security guard. He wants to start his own business.
Okay.
The only way to get there is to basically, in season 1, hunt snakes in Florida. And I know it sounds, with his newfound friend Jillian G.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
it's absolutely bonkers. It's absolutely fun. Each episode, it just unpacks itself. There's so many different folks that pop in and out as various, like, the different characters and stuff like that throughout the show, through the 2 seasons, and it's just so well done. And everything about his getting to this point of like having his own business and stuff, but all the trials and tribulations that happen, and it's set back, I want to say, it was like 2016. So you're getting a snapshot of like this pre-time, like that's 2016. They're making all these references about stuff that's happening in the world, and you're like, oh, we know how this unfolds. So it's interesting to see all this, like, posturing and stuff like that in 2016, 2020, or 2020, I guess. But it's just, or 20, I guess 2016 to up till 2020. So
did the show come out this year?
Came out in 2022.
Oh, okay.
But it's just about him getting to this point. So he's like getting to this point of having his own business, being this saw palmetto farmer in the Everglades and stuff like that, and all. But he's got to hunt snakes. He doesn't like snakes, but he becomes the best. It's humorous.
Okay. Is it like a half hour, like, dramedy almost?
Yeah, it's half an hour.
Okay.
Dramedy-esque.
Because see, that's the easy selling point, is anything that's a half hour with the wife, because
Gotcha.
like I feel like we have so few, because like we've burnt through all of the comedies and stuff, and the fact that I mean, we burnt through Twisted Metal in a day and a half. So it's like, well, and obviously nobody's getting anything for a long time.
I mean, at that point, you'll finish this and you'll have to watch Bupkis.
Say that again?
You have to watch after you watch this. You'll have to go watch Bupkis.
I don't know what that is.
It's that nice Pete Davidson kid. My grandma loves it.
Oh, Pete Davidson. Oh, is that the one that's like? It's about him and comedians being themselves, but it's like a drama or a comedyization. Like what even is?
It's about him being himself. It's about him going back to his neighborhood, living with his mom and his sister, and trying to just between stuff, figuring out what he's doing and getting he's like trying to figure out life, but he's still like, oh hey, I got to do these jobs and stuff like that, but I got my 3 buddies that are always hanging around, my entourage. It's very much like it's Entourage with Pete Davidson. So it's Crapperage, but it's
okay.
It's stupid funny. It's
okay.
Like I hated the fact that I liked it after the first episode. I was like, oh man, now I gotta watch the next episode. So and they're quick. So
okay.
Again, you're like, yeah, I'm already surfing for stuff on the cock. Why not watch it?
I really shouldn't be affected by you saying it that way. Like, I've heard all of the things a human could hear at this point, I feel like, mostly. And I think it's maybe just I know it's Peacock, so someone calling it something with less letters
With less letters.
it's just okay. Fair enough.
I mean, pretty soon you're gonna want a sandwich, and you're just gonna be like, "Ah, I'm just going to Bees."
Sure.
I mean, because they got the meat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, do we do the thing and talk about your thing, or do we ramble and eventually get to the thing?
The rambling is doing so well.
It is
We'll
doing
eventually
so
get
well.
there. I mean, it's like the wheels on the bus go round and round, and then we
Well,
finally get all over town.
so how do you, I mean, staying somewhat in television and stuff, and since you're one of the few writers that I know who actually paid for his writings, so what's your take on all of the writer shenanigans that has been occurring in Hollywood?
With the strike and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, as somebody the ironic part about me getting into comics was because the writer's strike happened, and the last writer's strike happened, so I left the Hollywood writing scene and went and
Really?
did
That's when you stopped? So
yeah.
what was that? 06,
So
07?
yeah, so let's see. Mike and I had been we had been working on stuff. We had done Slam Dance, which is put on by Fox 21. We had been put into some different writing groups, like working with other people, pitching stuff, and getting to meet execs and whatnot or whatever.
I think we've unironically covered a lot of that.
Yeah.
in episodes bygone.
but in one of those things, it's like, or in that whole instance, it was like we had made some of those connections, and as those people were exiting Hollywood, they were going into comics. So Charlie Chu leaving Fox to go to Oni Press, and when he met Mike, he was like, "Oh, you write? What do you do?" And that's how we ended up pitching Junior Braves to a guy that was going from movies or film to comics. And that's how we kind of like, well, we'll just shift our gears. We already write this kind of stuff, and we've got people that are interested in what we write, and we don't have to try to write or wait out this strike and just sit around and wait for anything to heat back up again, because it's very cool at the moment.
Sure.
So we shifted gears and went that direction into comics, and it's been a wild ride ever since. Let me tell you, Fast and Furious, just like the franchise, or not, but
sure.
It's been interesting to say the least, because you get to meet all sorts of different people, work with a bunch of different folks, and find different creative teams to work on different projects with. So
I mean, maybe a better question would be to ask is, like, are you aware of like what the demands are on the writer's strike?
So on some levels and some of the things, of course, it's like they're wanting to, studios want to use like AI to produce scripts and other things like that. And as a writer, I feel that's kind of, for the lack of better words, a bunch of garbage.
Sure.
Yes, because I mean, you can put something into a prompt, but you're not going to get a great. I've checked with I've fooled around with that stuff to see what kind of things you're going to end up with. To see, okay, well, I mean, this is based off of something that I've written. Here's something that I wrote the source material. Tell me what you're going to come up with. What are you going to come up with? And it's like, that's not anything better than what.
Yeah, I've dabbled in that stuff starting at the beginning of the year, actually over last winter break. I've dabbled in that stuff, both through whatever trained models, and then the one that I was dabbling in, I was using a one called Novel AI they allowed you to put like your own shit in. So I was like, okay, well, if I'm just putting my own stuff in, that's probably
But then
fine.
it
But
took your stuff.
do you know how many times like it was like blah 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 blah, and then like somebody started getting raped or having sex? I'm just like, I don't I don't write that. So I'm not sure how we got there.
How did we get there? How did
Like,
we?
I don't understand this
I think
aggression.
that's. I honestly feel like uh, the algorithm that the computers are trained with believes that this is the progression of a story that people
Mhm.
want to hear or see,
Mm.
read, whatever it is, and it needs to have this percentage of A, B, and C to make it marketable,
Sure.
and be it sex, laughs, or unhinged violence,
Yeah, maybe.
and and that's what it puts in there to make it workable. Um, and I had the same kind of experience. I was like,
Oh yeah.
okay, well, it doesn't. Um, if you're going into the internet, if it's searching out stuff that's basically already out there, or filtering out stuff, and this is what it's finding, then this is what it's providing, as it's running its course for the source, and this is what it's bringing back. It's like, one, we're doomed as a human. We're doomed as humans, and two, I mean, shoot, we're doomed as humans. It's really sad, because it's like, it's just you put a lot of garbage in, you get a lot of garbage out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it comes
I,
up all the time on our show. Just not even just on like a writing thing. Obviously, everybody and their dog is going full hog into ChatGPT 4, and
mhm,
and it it is incredible, but at the same time, also not. Like
mhm.
it's like both things sometimes simultaneously. Like it's wild.
I I see it. It's like, I see people get excited about it for the things that it can do, or
Sure.
it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
They get excited about it because of the art that it produces, or, well, mimics, imitates, and
Sure.
turns out, and it's like, okay, that's neat. It looks cool. You can't draw it yourself, or you don't want to pay somebody else to draw it for you, but you're willing to wait 2 hours for the computer to come up with a thing after you've played around putting in a bunch of stuff and got a
I mean,
bunch of messed up
it's not
images.
even 2 hours anymore. It's like seconds. It's
Okay.
crazy.
Okay. Well, I'm just going off of what, like, that was like last year when I
Yeah, no, last year is all old. Like
all
it's
old.
moved so progressively faster. I know there's a lot of
Still got
committees and stuff
eight
that are
fingers.
like, okay, hey, we should have guidelines and ethics on this, and other large corporations are like, you're fired for
Yeah. Oh yeah.
suggesting
No. No.
it. And it's like,
Well,
what?
you're seeing people are getting fired. People are getting laid off for
Yeah.
their writing abilities and stuff like that, or just having just like, oh, hey, we can have somebody, just punch it into the computer and come up with uh, the banner that we need for
Sure.
whatever, or come up with this, put in the prompts and then come up with all the stuff we need for our news article or whatever. Not to say that I haven't seen any of that,
I mean,
but
there
when
are
you've got 4 or 5
websites that
news
have
articles
said
that,
they've been writing news articles with AI since longer than you would think.
yeah,
And
and
I'm
when
just
you
like,
start
well, that
realizing that
explains why
they look
they're
the same,
bad.
yeah, and they all look the same. It's like, well, they have the same author.
Yeah. No, it's an interesting thing. I think my stance on it is I mean, the Pandora's box is open. Like
Mhm.
you can't put that genie back in the bottle.
Oh, but you
Um
can't
no, you can't. How can you do that if it's everywhere?
destroy all the computers, Tim.
Okay,
Twisted
well,
metal
we're
it.
at Terminator, so like
Twisted metal it. Just like, then we're just stuck in walled cities, driving around, being a milkman,
yeah,
getting dog food from place to place,
putting your
delivering ice
clown
cream.
mask on, turning it on
Well, I
fire.
can.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Are you here for the show?
How happy did that make you?
Oh my god, so happy. So happy. Oh my gosh, I was this is myself. I was there for the show.
Yeah, I bet.
I would be for the show every day.
I love how it keeps coming back to Twisted Metal. Like the paper bag stuff just killed me every single time. Like I think what was one of the lines when the other he gets the security guard friend and he's like about to go and he's like, "Nuh-uh, you riding bitch," because the paper bags, right?
Yeah. And then the drink is like
Oh my
he's
god.
drinking the bag, drank the drink.
Yeah,
Drank
it's like what?
the drink. What?
I mean, I there's maybe some too logical connection to be made about like, well, how did this bag remain a bag for so long? Because bags don't last like that. It was a paper bag. Like we're in the apocalypse here. This dude's feeding it drinks. Like
There's more than one bag.
I would think so.
Or not. It's not a real bag.
Actually, what would be great is if, God willing, we get a season 2 at some point after people can work.
Yeah.
Is if we get like one of those camera shots where it's just him and he's actually talking to nothing, but we see a bag. We see the bag like he sees the bag. You know,
Oh,
like
yeah.
I think that would be fantastic.
It's just that's the gag. The gag. The bag is the gag.
Exactly.
It's gag bag. Yeah. No, I feel like I honestly hope that the the strike continues. People get what they need. We don't end up with a bunch of bad stuff happening on all sides and everything like that, because it affects it doesn't just affect the writers and the actors, it affects all trickling down through the whole entire thing, all the different people that are involved in all the different aspects of it.
Oh yeah, so it's pretty awful. I think I think it's largely apparent to pretty much everybody that like there's just an insane level of greed happening. Oh, yeah. And I just can't, like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I mean, you've obviously had more exposure to that Hollywood stuff than quite literally than I ever will, but it's like, did you feel that then, like when you were like pitching or talking to people? Like, was that apparent to you? Like, was it observable, or was this just something that's been festering and growing for so long?
I'm gonna say it's definitely observable. It's definitely noticeable. If you're Drake Smith nobody and you're in a room full of people that have worked on popular shows and have a CV or resume that's great comparatively, and you have a finalist or a runner-up, second place trophy that says you did a good job, but you didn't, and you've just thrown into a room to chat with people. There's well, you're very interesting, but so and so works on whatever that show is that everyone's really interested in, and or vice versa. It's like that kind of thing, and it's like, okay, well, that's cool. There's that, and then there's also the oh yes, I'd love to talk with you all, but I really have to get moving to wherever it is that I have to go, and you get that from some producers and other things like that.
Sure.
Like, okay, thanks for the 2 seconds. I feel very blessed by being able to stand in the same place as you, like the bathroom.
Did you pitch in a bathroom at some point?
Who hasn't in Hollywood?
Come on, that's.
No, I'm just joking.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it sounds like it could be a real scenario to me. I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be so awkward. I can't even go to the bathroom with other people in it.
I mean, now that just opens up questions of like, well, what did you do? What did you do in Scouts? Did you just like go like 5 kilometers away to a tree? Like,
well, no, I had no. It's more of a joke, but
Fair enough.
It all happened because I fell inside a Kaibo, okay?
That's, that happened to
Have you
a
ever
friend of mine.
fallen inside one?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I dropped a light stick inside and they made me go fish it out. You know how disgusting it is?
It's bad.
And then you're sitting there and they're holding you by your ankles and you're like, don't let me fall, don't let me fall. And then they drop you because they're all having a good laugh and a joke, and then you never want to go back to the bathroom.
Yeah. Did yours
Okay, that
did
didn't happen to me.
that didn't happen? Oh, my story
Twice.
actually did happen to
Okay,
my friend.
once, but
He
I
had
mean,
he had like a grandfather's watch or something.
oh
He was a
geez.
real reckless person, and he like it slipped off his hand. And his mom was like, well, you better go get it.
Oh no.
And like this was like a really it was like a really structurally like well built Kaibo that had like a 6 foot
Oh,
reservoir with like all that blue
oh,
stuff in it.
oh.
And he
Just
couldn't
diving.
reach, and he didn't have anybody holding him, so he fell in
Oh God.
because we had to go get like sticks and ropes and stuff
Oh.
to like get him out. And came out, and he was just
Ugh.
literally a shitty
Ugh.
Blue Man Group reject.
And I can just I mean, like,
Yeah.
I the smell, the smell,
Oh yeah. Like
the
it was so bad. We're like, nah, you go camp elsewhere. Like you,
smell.
like we get that your mom made you do this, but no,
How horrible. What
it
a
was awful.
oh,
Yeah.
that's the worst.
The only thing that was good was that the camp did have like a hose
Uh-huh.
to like hose him down, because if it
Yeah.
had been someplace that was like even more out in the sticks, like
Either
I
man.
can't even imagine. Like you just would have.
Uh,
Ugh.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I had an experience skiing up at Snoqualmie when they
Mm-hmm.
were, like, so they have this back in the '90s. So they had the two lodges up there at
Mm-hmm.
Snoqualmie, and they had the one that was closed because of the bathroom issues. And I think since they've opened it or whatever after redoing the bathroom, but maybe not. I don't know. I haven't been up there since high school, so which was a very long time ago, and all because of this. So skiing, going between the two resorts,
Sure.
I jumped in. I was doing some stuff. I skied, jumped over a thing, and fell into what I assumed was like a creek. It was not. It was the runoff for that other resort area. The shut down. It's like what they had been shutting down their leach field. So when I got back to the ski bus to go back to Puyallup, they were like, "No, no, you have to like go and like take off all your stuff and then go and get new clothes."
Gosh,
And then they made me sit in the bathroom. And then when I got back, my dad made me sit in the back of the truck.
I bet.
And I was so embarrassed. I never went back up there again with ski droop because it was so embarrassing.
And that's rough.
I
I
was the
mean,
poo guy.
sometimes shit does happen.
Oh, it's the worst. I know. So we got there
Yeah.
from pitching in the bathroom.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Well, I might as well say this. I was gonna save it for my own cast, but it did just happen to me last night. So
Did you fall in a Kaibo yourself? Oh my gosh.
no, I'm
Oh,
not an idiot.
it was you. Oh, hold on. You're the shitty Blue Man Group guy.
Sorry, Sean. um, no. I think I had mentioned I'm running on 4 hours of sleep. But like, so
That's my norm.
wife made chicken alfredo last night,
Oh yeah.
and it was delicious until like I was like, oh, I have to go to the bathroom,
Oh
and
no.
and then an hour after that, I have to go to the bathroom, and an hour after that, and an hour after that, and an hour after that, until it was 4:46 this morning
Uh huh.
after two.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah.
What happened?
I don't know. Because well, it happened to my wife too. So we're just like, what the fuck happened? I was like, you cooked the chicken. She's like, yeah, I fucking cooked the chicken. You know? And I'm like, well, what the fuck is it? It's chicken Alfredo. It's not crazy rocket science, you know? And she's like, well, I did use a different sauce. And I was like, what fucking brand is it? Or never using that ever fucking again. Because that clearly has to be it. Because the chicken was from Costco, the noodles were gluten free, and broccoli's
from
broccoli.
McFrugals. The sauce was from Frugals.
No, so she's like, well, it's the Target brand sauce. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing buying Target brand Alfredo sauce?
She wanted to see if you would.
Well, it happened to her too. It just happened to me longer.
So, all clear now?
I mean, I wouldn't say all clear. I mean, I did like 2 friggin' glasses of Pepto Bismol last night, and so everything's, you know, dark.
Pink. Dark, yeah.
Dark. So we'll see. So yeah, no, so that's your official PSA announcement. I feel, Greg, I've talked more about shit related and bodily fluid things every single time you're on than at any other point in this show. It happens every time.
Every time. Well, I mean, sometimes you just have to. You have to talk about. I mean, it's a human thing.
It is. We all get it.
Taco Bell the other day, and Taco Bell will do that to you. But boy, oh boy, let me tell you what happened to us.
God,
Same thing that happened to you guys, but probably faster because it's Taco Bell.
Yeah, I said something offhanded to my wife this morning, and she's like, "What do you mean you didn't go to bed till like 4:46?" And then I was like, that fucking Satan, fucking Satan Alfredo. It's like Taco Bell in a liquid purified like concentrate form, just injected into your veins. Like, I don't know what it is. Awful.
Well, it I mean, Baja Blast. It means under blast.
Sure.
If Baja is under blast, Baja Blast.
I never thought about it like that. Yeah.
No, yeah, there you go.
That's accurate.
Yeah. So you got the underblast.
But yeah, poop, pitching in a toilet. So
I mean, who doesn't pitch in the toilet? I pitch in the toilet often. I mean, actually, no. The best ideas do come from the bathroom. That's where I get all my best ideas and my like. Oh, no joke. Like I'll come out of the bathroom, like shower, toilet, whatever, and taking a long wee. And it's like, boom, idea. And it's like, holy crap, I gotta write this one down. This is really good. Because like I learned you gotta write it down. Tell yourself to write it down.
Oh.
I had a fight with myself in a dream.
Absolutely.
My dream self said, you're not gonna forget this, Greg. It's too good to forget. And I said, no, you're gonna forget it, Greg, because you're dumb. And I was like, in my dream self was like, no, you're not. It's too good. You're not gonna forget it. And I was like, no, you're dummy. You're gonna forget it. And I was like, no, you're not going to forget it. It's too good. I woke up the next morning, forgot it.
Dang.
Hours go by. Hours. I finally remembered it.
Yeah.
It's really good. I would tell you all about it, but I can't.
No, that's fine.
I mean,
I get it.
I mean, right now, I think like contractually, I just can't talk about it right now.
Sure, that's fine.
It's that good.
Hey, man, good. I always get stuff like midday, very frustratingly, like while I'm working, like normal person working. I'll be like, oh, that's really good.
Good.
I'll like try to like jot it down, a note on it. But the other one for me is like I'll like wake up from like a fever dream with like shit like fully formed, and I'll just like stay up and just start writing stuff down.
And you're like, oh my gosh.
It's like, I don't know if it's a lack of sleep or what was going on in that dream, but this shit's fucking great.
That's how it goes sometimes. It's like, I don't know. you said you only got 4 hours sleep. I generally sleep between 4 to 6 hours. So I mean, like I'm used to functioning on that, and I've just
You and
functioned
my
on that.
wife. My wife does that too.
It's a trait of being awesome, I guess. That's I've been told. So I'm sure she's been told the same. So or at least I tell myself that in my sleep when I'm dreaming.
Sure.
You're awesome, and I'm like, I know, thank you.
But didn't you just say you were dreaming and Dream Greg told you you're dumb and to shut up in the same dream?
There was two of me in my dream, and one was like, write it down, and the other one was like, no, don't worry about it. You're too cool. You're not gonna forget. It's too good of an idea. And then the other one was like, no, you're dumb. You're stupid. And I was like, no, dream me. Shut up.
Do you have like a lot of self-doubt when ideas spring forth?
Sometimes. Who doesn't? I mean, of course. I mean, whenever you get those ideas that jump out at you, you're not sure if it's a good idea, bad idea. If is it good or bad to you? Is it going to be good or bad to somebody else? Are they going to look at you like you're dumb? Like this one that I had in my dream, when I finally realized what it was, when I pitched to Mr. Michael Tanner, he was like, it's mid. and I was like,
just hard, what? Full stop, mid.
I was like, what? It's an awesome idea. And then like a couple days later, he was like, no, that's a pretty good one. I mean, it's all right. Why don't you come up with write it up or whatever? And I was like, oh, okay, so I'm sitting there and I'm like, all right, cool. I'll write some stuff up. So I figured, I'd just hammer some stuff out, and then we sat down and talked about it again. And he was like, oh yeah, that's way better than when it's usually like that. It's usually how my ideas form. It's like the basic idea is kind of like, it's okay. That's usually what most people. Well, it's like it's not like it's okay. It's just like, okay. It's like it's there. It's an idea. But where are we going with it?
Sure.
And it's like, okay, well, we're getting there, and we're getting there, and we're figuring it out, and it's like, oh yeah, is everything? What is going on? My computer is making noises.
Everything's all good on my end.
Okay, my computer's making noises. I hate it.
What kind of noises is it making?
It's making weird noises. I don't know.
Like a parrot?
Like a parrot.
Okay. Fair enough.
Anyways, so yeah, it's just like come up with these ideas, then put them all together. And it's like, oh well, the outline was okay, or the outline was rough, and then once it gets filled in, it's like, oh okay, that makes sense. That's much better than just the weird 2 words that you sent me. I guess that's what it was. It's just 2 words. Send them 2 words.
Yeah, it's just probably something like, it's like, bro. Sand ninjas.
Well, that is awesome, but I said rad idea. And he's like, I don't know. By rad idea. Sand ninjas, though. That's like his.
That's so interesting. Mike being like the reserved and mid one, because now that he's been on the show and we've talked a couple of times, he's not like that, or at least in the times. So that's interesting. Have you ever conversely done the reverse? Has someone ever come up to you and you're like, yeah, mid? No, maybe
sometimes. Yeah. I'm like, why would we do that?
Like one step further, like less mid, more depression. Like, why would you write that?
Can I just take my foot and then put it under a car and let it run my foot over a few times?
Wow.
And then try to walk down the street, because that's how I feel right now. Dang. Hobbled, both emotionally and physically, by your idea.
That's crazy.
I I don't know. I try to actually I try to look at all the different stuff that comes out of other people's stuff as whenever somebody pitches something to me or has an idea, I try to look at it as open-minded and excited as possible. Like like, oh hey, what can we? Even if it's not as exciting to me, like if I'm not 100, if I might, it might not be my thing, but it's their thing, so I want to be open to it. I want to be receptive. That's what I'm saying.
Sure. Yeah, you don't want to be like all the people you've pitched to in Hollywood. Be like, yeah, I'm on my way out, but next time.
Yeah, exactly.
Or whatever. Right.
Well, I don't want to. I don't want to have somebody say, "Yeah, that's a great idea, but it's not something we're interested in," and then see it on TV later. I'm not saying that's ever happened.
Sure.
Once or twice before, but
for real?
Yeah.
Really?
And then message Mike and be like, "Hey, you see in this this show that looks really familiar to this thing that we wrote that they told us wasn't very good." Or you see this movie that just came out that we're told nobody be into. Yeah. So, but I mean, again, ideas come to people all the time, so it might not have been our idea. It was someone else's idea, and it just came to them at a different time in a different place.
Sure. I mean, that's the reality of like, you could be like, oh my god, nobody has ever thought this idea in this sequence before, and then like maybe you stumble across something and it's like fucking 60 years older, and you're like, oh, well, I guess someone did think that. God damn it. I mean, I suppose the harsh reality is like, words have all been written and said by somebody else.
Exactly. Yeah. That is, as a writer, you have to accept that someone else has already written it. They've already spoken it, they've already thought it. It's just your moment to put it together the way that you're doing it. And
speaking of putting things together,
yeah.
What about this Starlight thing?
Wow, Starlight. Man, we've been doing that for years, it feels like.
You have been, actually, legitimately. Like, it's not honestly, even a joke anymore.
It's not a joke anymore. We've been
not to say that it was a joke, but I'm saying we're saying literally the process has been a while.
We've been working on it for a few years, and we're finally at issue number 6. We've kickstarted issue 6. That's what you have me on the show to talk about.
That's true. There's the whole reason. There's a whole reason you hit me up and you're just like, hey, I need you to not sleep and I need you to do me an episode. And you need to edit it right now so that we can let the people know that this is going to succeed.
I thought we just wanted to talk about poop and TV shows we like and actors and stuff like that and AI and all that cool stuff and food that your wife made you that made you poop and food that my wife made me buy that made us both poop and
Wait, so she made you buy Taco Bell?
She loves Taco Bell. When she's constipated, nothing works.
I mean...
Bell. I'm just joking. It's funny. The irony is that she and I both worked at Taco Bell in high school and in college, and it is like I worked at almost every fast food restaurant there is under the sun, or cleaned every fast food restaurant there is under the sun.
Sure.
I should say, like, because I used to work at a place for a company that cleaned kitchens and stuff like that.
It seems like it'd be brutal.
And like we did the fire safety inspection stuff, the hood cleaning, all that stuff. No, I shouldn't say clean the kitchens, unless dummy over here triggered the fire suppression system, and then I'd have to clean the whole entire kitchen because when you get fire suppression system popping off at 12 o'clock at night and they gotta open the kitchen at 6, then you gotta clean a whole entire McDonald's before they open. So, yeah, not that that's ever happened more than twice.
Dang.
Yeah, I mean, only
I've
McDonald's.
bumped
But...
one sprinkler where I broke the little red glass thing,
yeah,
and I freaked out, and then nothing happened, and then I like
oh,
dug into it and find out that it wasn't even connected to begin with. So it's like,
oh.
whoo.
Well, that's not necessarily reassuring that it's not connected.
No. But I was okay. So.
You were okay, man. I mean, not to say. I mean, I only popped 2 at McDonald's. Not to say that I didn't pop more at other places. Those little links, man. I'm telling.
Dang.
But yeah, you clean the kitchen once or twice, you get really good at it.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
not to say that. I mean, hey, you grew up in the Puyallup area. Remember when Burger King burnt down?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do.
yeah. Not me, a person I knew. But all because fire suppression systems weren't set up correctly.
Dang.
in the broiler. Just take one of those little links out, and then I'm just joking. Anyways,
so what you're really telling me is you know a lot about fast food restaurant arson. That's what you're
no. I'm saying if you mess with the systems, then it causes problems. It either pops the system or you end up with a fire. Bad news.
Fair enough.
Now the reason why they're caught on fire is because their boiler was dirty as hell. They were trying to clean it or whatnot, and it just caught on fire. That's what happens when you have a bunch of high school kids and one adult working.
Yeah, I can't. Honestly, I'm surprised there aren't more fast food restaurant fires.
Oh.
Like the level of heat, like even just with like a deep fryer, I'm just like, how do people not cause more grease fires? Because that's like grease fire city.
I know, and you get people that are like, "Oh, let's throw an ice cube in there because it's funny." It's like, it's not funny. That's like that's like waiting for it's like throwing an M80 in a mailbox. It's like, go bam, you can have an explosion. It's just confined to one area, and that explosion happens to like shoot hot spit everywhere. Not that I've ever seen it happen before.
It's wild. But let's reel you back into Starlight.
Okay, I suppose.
That's what you came here for.
I suppose that's what we came here to talk about. The Kickstarter for issue number 6.
Yeah. How's it going?
Traditional Spider Wizards are selling books.
Good.
Our goal was $4,000. We are sitting at $4,728 currently.
Oh, nice.
Over the goal. We have
that's good.
144 backers. I know we would like to get to 150 backers. So that would be that's every day we have a new goal. Can we get to 145? Can we get to 150 backers tomorrow? Can we do 5 a day? It's like doing push-ups.
Sure. Now, I know that I've probably, maybe, I don't remember, I've probably asked you this before, but do you enjoy the sprint of mad dashery promotion and podcasts and let me eat horrible food and let's stream this and do this wacky thing to try to get anybody with money to put it into the Kickstarter?
So the crazy thing is early on when we were doing a lot of these for Starlight, that was the case. As our base is built up, there's a lot less of that kind of thing, because we don't. I mean, I'm not. It's. I would say like when we're on some of the events that I do for different Kickstarters, when we're trying to just drum up excitement and stuff like that. Yes, there is that what do you want to call it? Buffoonery, the silliness, the showmanship, if you will. What am I good at? What can we do if we're trying to hit the mark? Sure. I can eat things. We can shave heads. We can do some silly stuff. And these they're fun events. They make people giggle. They're fun, and all. This time around, everybody came out strong at the beginning, and we funded within like 72 hours. So I was like, wow, okay, that's great. Um, but at the same point, like I mean, I was a professional clown, so I love doing
True.
wacky, goofy things. So it doesn't really bother me that much as I've gotten older in the last couple of years. Eating things has kind of like, it depends on what it is. I don't think I'll eat another whole chicken in a can again. That was disgusting. That was like by far the worst thing I think I've dumped out. Hot things don't bother me too much, except for the other day when um, we were I was just kind of like giving a quick update and thanking people about everything on the live stream. I was like, hey, thanks so much for backing the thing. And I was eating these like uh, hot gummy bears. They're like red and blue hot gummy bears. And I was like, oh, they're not so bad. They're just kind of spicy. They're not so, and then Travis and I were supposed to do a podcast right after that. And I was like, oh, okay, I got a little heat and, it's a little warm in the room. And I went to wipe my face and I took off my glasses and rubbed my face and realized that I had just touched my eye with the hot, spicy gummy bear fingers. And now I'm trying to do this podcast that apparently is a video podcast, kind of like this, but they were actually using the video for the podcast and the YouTube channel. Yeah. And I'm crying as we're starting this thing. And I'm like, I gotta go. I had joked, like, I was like, hey, are you doing video? Because if you are, I gotta leave. And they're like, what, why? And I'm like, because I just touched my face with this hot stuff. That portion is not fun.
Yeah, I bet. I bet.
So I think when it comes to those types of things, but then again, I mean, like I do dumb things for the shop all the time. So like, I mean, I'm about to go throw it on this like Warheads pickle. We got these Warheads pickles. It's a sour pickle. Yeah, I know, right? Pickle. Okay, Warheads sour stuff. It's a brined Warheads pickle. My wife's like, Anne's like, oh, you better eat one of these like on a live stream for the shop so that people see, and then I got a hot one. The same company makes this one and a regular sour, like a sour one, a sour pickle, and then a Warhead sour, and then a hot pickle. So I got like all three of them, even though we only carry the one. I figured I wanted to try them all, but I like pickles. They also make a hot. We got.
I like pickles too, but I don't know about Warhead pickles. That just sounds. Oh. That just sounds like, well, do you have life insurance? Kind of like scenario.
And that's a good question because like Warhead stuff is just traditionally super sour, like mouth puckering, like. Argh!
Yeah,
and then all of a
that's
sudden
the
your
point.
jaw pops because you made that weird face, and you're like, Ooh! And it's a pickle. So how much? Yeah. I mean, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, I mean, to answer your question, do I like to do this type of stuff for Kickstarters and stuff? Yeah, I do.
Fair enough.
Unless it's like, I don't know, like the chicken was so disgusting. It was like opening up a hot garbage. It was already warm because like it just seems like whenever these dumb food challenges arise, it's always like in one of these Kickstarters that for an issue of something that happens to be midsummer or the end of summer when it's like ungodly hot and it's like already warm in the whole house. Like I opened that can up and it was like just the whole house smelled like this chicken, and it made this splooshing noise as I dumped it into the bowl, and it just like it was just bones and chicken and just jelly, fat, nasty, and I was like, well, I better eat this thing because I already opened it and it's a whole chicken, so I like chicken. Who doesn't? It's like, I mean, I've eaten canned chicken before. You start eating it, it's just so salty and briny, and that smell is gaggerific, and it's like, and then it got to the point where the dogs didn't even want to be around because they're running away from it. Usually dogs love chicken and other stuff like that. They're like, nah, pass on this guy. So yeah, that was bad. I'm not going to do another one of those for Starlight.
Gosh, we were at a friend of mine's baby shower a couple weeks ago, and they were doing a blind taste testing for like baby food. And one of the other moms there, she like took like the spoonful of something, and she's like, I think I know what this is, but I hope I don't know what this is.
Oh
And
no.
she ate it, and she like she was like very, 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 very close to like just hurling everywhere.
Yeah.
And then when she like recovered, she was like, that's the meat one. That's the one you don't ever want to get for your kids.
Oh
Like, it's
no.
awful.
It's bad.
So,
That
but it
sounds
was
bad.
entertaining though. See, I stayed away from the baby foods because I was like, I have enough food allergies. I don't know what's in them.
Yeah.
Blind food testing, I can't do that.
I mean, how many babies did they put in there?
The
You're like,
shocked face.
uh,
Welcome to the horror segment of the show where we.
how many babies
Jeez.
did they put in there?
I don't know. But
Yeah, no, I just like, yeah, I've done, I might do it again. Blended hot dogs and other stuff like that. I find that it's like fun, but
that doesn't seem too
how
bad.
many hot dogs can Greg drink? Can Greg?
Oh, you're drinking hot dogs. Okay.
Yeah, blend the hot dogs down. You know, like Weird Al did with the Twinkie Wiener sandwich, but I can't. I can't the Twinkies anymore. So I just put all the wieners in the blender and put all the fixins in there and no buns because of course it's just
Not
gluten.
even a gluten free. I know you have a gluten thing, but
I could put the gluten free buns in there, but that just bind it up.
yeah, it'd be real gooey. I'd probably turn it to grout.
Oh yeah, bad.
Would be not good. Not good.
Yeah, not good. But it'd be interesting. We'll see what happens. Who knows? I mean, somebody wants to throw down that gauntlet. We'll see. Because we might get to a point. We gotta. I mean, we are trying to get a stretch goal. Trying to. We're almost at that 5,000 mark. I think at 6,000 we get some stuff out there for the marks.
What's the highest of the Starlight Kickstarters so far?
The high. So
Yeah.
the first one out of the gate that we ever did, like I think hit 10 grand. Like boom, out of the gate. No, like Kickstarter was like, holy crap, who are you guys? What are you guys making? Like, what did you do? Like you I was like,
why are you here? We want names.
Yeah, but then but the thing is like then obviously like the way Kickstarter works, there's always that downtrend, right? So you drop a second book, and you might not get the same kind of response. So we had
because was it the second one? The second one that needed to cook again?
Yeah, the second one needed to go back for a second cooking. Well, the second one, there was the two issues that happened with when we dropped the second one. There was
and like Travis had changed all the things too. That was an issue, I believe.
He changed a bunch of stuff. There was the image that we used was the monsters, the space spiders. So you had transdimensional spider wizards on the cover, which people are like, "What are these? We don't want that. We want where's Sarah? Where's Chris? Where's the characters that we know from the book, the first book?" This is not the book that we're buying. We don't care about that. We want the characters because it's a character-driven story, of course. Maybe Space Cats might be interesting, but they didn't. That was all in the first book, the first cover, and then you got we had a bunch of stuff that was changed up in the thing, and then also I believe we launched it a little weird at a weird time versus so Travis accidentally launched that one off schedule.
Right. Yeah. It was an accidental.
Yeah.
He
was checking the rewards tiers and other things like that, and it got launched at a weird time. And instead of you can't cancel it, you gotta just let it go. So we just let it go. And then the other thing too that happened was there was some book with this guy. He was like, he did some time travel in a phone booth movie, and then like had a movie where he was like on a bus. They had to drive real fast, and then most recently he did this thing where his dog gets killed, and then like there was like 4 movies where he had to hunt down a bunch of people. He did some comic book. It was really berserk, I guess. So that dropped. the same time, so it's really hard to get any traction.
Yeah, that'd be a little difficult going
Yeah.
up against a AAA action movie star.
Yeah. Why are you on Kickstarter?
That's true.
But
I'm sure there are other ways.
I hear people are finally getting their books this year
Oh,
for that.
yeah.
So I mean, I I'm not. There's so many things about that just blow my mind. But that is the toughest thing. Is like we've done 5 successful Kickstarters between now and then, and we will get all our books to them before everyone gets their books for that. I find that just ridiculous. But hey, that's just me.
But wasn't a year ago, 2 years ago, whatever the last one was? I think it came up because it was in between Starlight and Battle Grapple and the other one whose name I'm forgetting.
What other Kickstarter I did?
Yeah,
Scrape?
that you've done on this. Yeah, Scrape.
Yeah. So I mean, I've done I've done 5 other Kickstarters. They've all been successful. They've all shipped.
That's a good record. That's a good record.
All of them have done well, but people are finally just getting their AAA title, major comic book publisher books after the comic book shops got their comics. That you don't treat your Kickstarter fan base that way. The people that made the book happen. That's my own personal thing. So I mean,
what do you think occurred there? Other than I know at some point between those 3 Kickstarters I mentioned, there was like a huge paper shortage.
There was a huge paper shortage, but
I still got my problem.
Printing problem, yeah. But I still saw multiple books go out. And they're printing out multiple books for their own company. I don't know, Tim. I mean, I don't run a multi-faceted major publisher. I just have one small baby one and do it okay, and then work on a couple other things.
Hey man, sometimes that's all you can do. Sometimes it's.
I don't know how the big guys do it, or why they don't do it the way. Why it takes them 2 years to get a book to somebody.
I think I have sitting behind me.
Yeah.
4 packages from your various Kickstarters.
Oh jeez.
That, in all honesty, I haven't
opened them.
I haven't even fucking opened them, Greg.
What? You need to open them.
I don't even know which one is which.
There's notes inside each and every one of them to you from us. Dear Tim, thank you so much for backing this Kickstarter. Without you and your support and the support of your family helping us make our dreams come possible, we wouldn't be able to do this without you. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time. And remember, every dollar that you spend with us is a dollar that we spend with you.
I have no idea if it actually says that inside the thing or not, because they're not open. And I do feel bad about that. I do. In fairness, some of them showed up like super late to the point where I was like, I didn't even remember if I had gotten them or not.
Yeah.
And then
which one showed up really late? Which one was it?
I had one show up, when I say sometime in March of this year. But again, I don't know which.
It's probably Scrape.
Which one it is. And Scrape was actually the one I was super looking forward to, because it's more sci-fi as well.
You didn't even open it up. Oh my god!
Greg, the real talk is, I haven't.
You're too tired. You got 4 hours of sleep, and you got to poop a lot. I mean,
yes, today.
If you read a comic book on the toilet every time you went to the bathroom, think of how many comics you would have read already.
See, I'm persnickety. Like, I would not read a comic book on the toilet unless it was digital, because I would be afraid of getting stuff on said comic book. And then I really couldn't live with myself.
Get your stuff on your phone or device, and you're okay with that, Mr. Baby Wipes?
Yeah, but see, my phone I can wash. A comic book I can't wash that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the barest logic on that. But no, it's true.
Page made with a natural paper that actually has each one of these pages has been run through. They're smooth. They're ready to go for reading at any place that you're reading them. They're slick, glossy pages, just for that instance that maybe per se something gets on it. You could just wipe it away, clean as a whistle.
So
that's not the case. But I mean, so if I told you that, that'd be great, right?
It's fucking so stupid that we keep coming back to poop. But this is a true story. So I read. I had I had the first like 1 or 2 years of the Spider-Man Ultimate Comics run.
Yeah.
And I had it from the library.
Oh no! And you dropped it in the toilet.
And I was reading it on the John, and
you dropped the library book in the toilet?
No. Like, you're not gonna drop a comic book between your legs in a tiny toilet cover. That's not how that would work. But no, I remember I like reached. I did the wipe, and I had like the comic in one hand.
Yeah.
And then like I like wiped, and I think I missed because I was so engrossed in the comic.
Yeah.
And then I like put my right hand after the thing on the comic, and then it's like on the corners on the pages, and I was just like, so it was like I sinned against the library, I sinned against the Comic Books Authority. Like I just did it all, and I was like, okay, never again am I going to read a comic while in dispose.
Did you pay for it?
You know what? I don't actually remember what I did.
Set it on fire.
I think I may have actually tried to wash it. Like I think I like put the pages, and then I like put it out in the sun or something. Put a box fan on it.
And
I don't remember.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. Like I've dropped. Like I used to read a lot in the bathroom. Like so when I was younger, and I had the misfortune of getting up and like going to flush, and I knocked a copy of. And I've got a copy of it over here. Hold on a second, because I had to go buy a new copy of it. Ray Bradbury's The Golden Apples of the Sun. I had to buy a new copy because I dropped it in the John, and I was so mad. I had to throw it away, and man, tracking this bad boy down. I mean, it's like the third copy, because like I had one copy, I gave it away, and then the second one I dropped in the toilet, and then this one, it's like I'm afraid to read it. I mean, I've read it, but I won't take it back to the bathroom. It's a book. It's not a bathroom book, but the stories are so short. I love it. Anyways, enough about that. We don't need the bathroom talk anymore.
Yeah, back to comics.
Back to comics. But if you want a digital book, let me tell you what we got. You can get yourself a digital copy of Starlight for $5.
I am almost positive I have purchased all of those digitally. I actually just looked in my folder that has exclusively Kickstarter comics. Ironically, they're all only your guys' stuff.
Oh, wow. That means that we're awesome.
But I'm seeing a huge discrepancy. So it's Pablo the Gorilla, Starlight Backer Edition 1, and then Starlight 3. I'm like,
where's number 2?
Where the fuck is 2?
Didn't back number 2, dude.
I know I did. I've backed them all except for this most recent one.
Oh, maybe you didn't get the digital. Maybe you got the digital, but you didn't download the digital.
I don't know.
You got to shake that Travis tree. You got to go, Travis, give me my book. He did a thing, I know, on number 2, and this is no lie, but he set up a weird link, and it was like a Mission Impossible link. This link will self-destruct after 3
Oh,
months.
you know what? I
What?
think I did bang that tree because I remember him sending me a link to like fucking Dropbox or
Yeah,
Windows
and
Live with a passcode or some shit. And I'm like, is this, are we stealing right now? Like, what is happening? Like, through this link.
yeah, it's a whole thing. Because like, not just you, but I've gotten messages from other folks that I know that are like, dude, what happened to my link? It doesn't work, and I paid for this thing. And I'm like,
Sure.
here, hold on, let's do this song and dance. Travis, where's the book? I gotta get this guy this book, or I gotta get this lady this book.
How come he's the sole
Doesn't trust
distributor of the, he doesn't trust you?
doesn't trust me. So
Isn't your name on the fucking book?
so I go and I go and get him one wrong thing at a restaurant one time and doesn't trust me anymore. I like, I'm like, man, he wanted like fun. I bring him pad thai, two different things, two different types of food, completely different regions of Asia, two different types of food completely. Also, fun. There's so many different things you can put in there. Pad thai is just one thing. Just get increasingly hotter.
Yeah.
But he didn't want it, so he was very upset. No, I'm just joking.
So
He doesn't.
I mean, I don't see the thing about that though is like, because I have seen Travis at other points in my life before I had ever met you, and I still think of that one comment that he made like 3 Kickstarters ago. It was like, "Oh no, I like you, Tim. I like you good enough for you to get me coffee." And I was like, I was like,
oh my god, I know.
and I still sticks out in my mind to this day as like, I have no idea if that was just really fucking funny or if that was really fucking cruel.
So, I mean, he's the type of guy that uses $101 bills. You know what they are, right? $101 bills.
I'm just
Rich
gonna say
people
no.
will know of them because they're called Corellas.
I don't know that term.
A Corella?
Yeah.
Well, then
Like a what?
$101 bill.
Oh my lord.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I didn't expect you to dad joke devastate me. See, that's my co-host's job. He always does shit like that to me. Because I mean, he's a father of 2, and I'm over here a father of 9. And so it's like I was so like bought in. I was like, oh, okay, we're getting serious story Greg now. And then I should have expected just the I should have expected the turn.
No, I mean, Travis, I think it's when it comes to doing Starlight, doing the projects, doing stuff like that. Honestly, it is. He wants to. It's this is this. There's certain aspects of it that are. This is what Travis does. This is what
Sure.
this is the Travis job. This is what. So when it's like I will. Okay, this is what you do. This is you handle the whatever it is, the links, all this stuff, the pass and go. I will eat the canned chicken. He has
Still
no
gross.
gallbladder, so he can't do it.
So Starlight 6, and I think we mentioned this. I mentioned this to you when you were communicating to me on Twitter before we arranged this. Yeah. I remember from I think maybe the first Kickstarter podcast we did for you. Yeah. That the issue number was not a usual 12. What's the total issue number for Starlight?
Total issue is we're going to 7.
1 to 7, so we're almost there. So this would be the penultimate chapter.
Yeah. So basically, we have a 7 issue arc for this arc, and then we were going to take a break and work on a couple of other things. We had another, and then we have another 7-issue arc that we were planning on doing. So it'd be 14 issues, but definitely not your normal, quote unquote. But we had a couple other projects pop up and pop off, and I guess Travis talked about them.
So is the arcs dictated by your guys' schedule, or is it dictated by, like, they're just the arcs? Like, that's what they ended up being, is that number?
So we intended on doing the 7-issue arc based on the story itself, based on what Travis had written at first and what he wanted to try to put into. He was like going back and forth if it was going to be one graphic novel or break it up into 7 singular issues, or break it up into singular issues. And when we sat down and I was breaking it up with him, I was like, it's going to be 7 issues because you don't have enough for this or that, but it would be a great place to continue with another arc. And we thought about 2 different things, coming up with another storyline based off of a different character to kind of loop everything back around. So you get a little bit of one of our other characters, get some history and some exposition on that, and then bringing the Starlight group back into the story. So it's not necessarily 100% Starlight, but it is definitely within the Starlight realm and world build. And then going from there into the next 7-issue arc for Starlight.
Okay.
And discussing where we go with the characters from Starlight at that point. So that is definitely a conversation that we've been having up until this point. But you do bring in a good question: is like what dictates it? Is it based off of the story, or is it based off of time and other projects? We did get hit with a couple of oh boy, Overcast as a small comics imprint.
And how's that doing as well? I mean, I wanted to ask as well.
It's doing good.
Because I noticed at some point there was stickers on the sheets, the cards of the packages. I don't know what you'd call them. The envelopes.
The envelopes,
the card stock comic book shipping vessels.
Yes, the card, the everything. Yes, we have. So I mean, we have Starlight. That's our flagship brand comic, if you will. That's the comic that we started with. Then you have Battle Grapple Rebel, which we're continuing to work on. Excuse me. Then we have a couple other projects or a couple other things that we're trying to bring into the fold as well that we've worked on in the past with other people. So hopefully once those are something we can discuss and talk about more in depth, it would be great to bring that in-house completely and get that out there so that we can continue that work and all.
So now when you say bring in-house, if they're with people you've worked with before, like what, I guess, because I remember it had come up, I think it was Scrape was not part of that set.
No, it's not.
As I recall. But you nevertheless were out there champion your boy. So like what I guess I don't even understand like what is in-house and then like what's like obviously Scrape's not in-house. I don't what the fuck is the house?
The house would be, I guess, what we deem kind of like workable, viable projects and things that make sense, that fit into the world of Overcast, and things that we have either worked with, and would like to continue to work on and work with. So Battle Grapple definitely lends itself to being somewhere within that kind of it has the ability to kind of like fit into the same the same sub space as Starlight, if you will. They're, not to say they're going to cross over or anything like that, but
sure.
it's
Like you're not saying like shared universe, but you're saying like when you look at obviously certain comics, you're like, oh, this is an Image comic. This is a Marvel comic.
Yeah.
This is a DC.
Yeah.
This is a
exactly.
Fuck, is Top Cow still a thing?
I don't believe so.
Yeah, they died.
I think they
unfortunately.
they died.
Well,
but we're trying to we're trying to basically kind of like build up a little bit of a brand recognition based off of things that fit, things that make sense, and things that you can look at and say, oh, okay, that's the kind of thing that they're doing. One of the things I guess that Travis talked about on the previous podcast that we had been on is most recently he has been working. Oh man, I feel so awkward about talking about it because I don't know the ins and outs of everything. All I know is that we're it's more of a Travis thing. That's the thing. I know that we're so he has gotten us the ability to work with the Albert Queen estate to work on continuing his storytelling and working on Nemesis, the storyline for Nemesis, and doing comics that relate and are based around the Nemesis properties. So
I feel like I should know that, but I'm drawing a blank on that.
That's okay. So Nemesis focuses around a late century, or I guess like 2030 something, cyborg hunter Alex Rain, who is a LA police detective who tracks down dangerous cyborgs.
Okay.
And or androids.
Was that like cyborgs. An old movie? Was that like an 90s, old series?
It was a 90s movie. Okay. The first one was, and then they made several movies later. Okay. And Travis is working on a movie that kind of encaps everything right now, as Albert has passed away, and Travis was asked to come on and kind of assist with completing that. And in return, we get to work on continuing those stories from the Nemesis storyline. So we're working on a direct sequel right after the end of Nemesis 1, and then a prequel as to how Alex Rain became who he is. So that's what I'm working on. And they all kind of fit into the Starlight stuff, is like where is, it's Starlight's kind of like a
wild space.
Overcast. Overcast is a wild space. It's a fun, weird, cyberpunky kind of interesting stuff happening in the Nemesis storylines. And then you got Starlight, where Starlight is all happening in space, but it's raves in space with space cats and spider wings.
Yeah, but it didn't start there though.
It didn't start there. That's true. Started on Earth.
It did.
Started on Earth. Started in Washington.
Yeah, most likely on an island adjacent to a space needle.
Yeah. You might recall.
Dude, pretty sure Travis straight up fucking said it. If I remember what was said.
Yeah. So, So that's it is kind of, like I said, where our projects are where we are in writing the next portion of Starlight is dictated, at least in this case, not that we had planned it this way, but timing is everything, so we kind of have to.
Yeah, you guys got other stuff on the plate.
Jump on this, but it's okay because we've already done number 7, and we're ready to have Brett work on that. So now that 6 is moving through the gates that it's moving through, once we get to that point, people will do a Kickstarter for 7 and get people that book as well. We're excited about number 6 because it's a good story, we're really. I mean, you haven't read number 5, so you can't yell at me. I mean,
And I don't think I've read number 4.
boy, oh boy, you can't yell at me for that either.
I mean, the fact that, like I said, I have 1 and 3 in Pablo the Gorilla, and I'm almost positive that 2 has been read, and I'm pretty confident 3 has been read. Actually, I'll just, because it is right here, I'll just fucking open it and see
open
if
it. And then you're like, I don't know what this is. I don't even remember any of this. All I know, I can tell you this, is my high school best friend, co-host for Funny Book Forensics, literally after he opened number 5, after he got it, the digital comic, he is reading it, and then he messaged me just a stream of expletives, and it was almost as bad as when he read volume 2 of Junior Braves. So not spoiling anything, just that he's like, why do you write things like this?
I
haven't read volume 2 of Junior Braves.
I don't remember reading volume 2 of Junior Braves.
Wow.
I know I have a physical copy because you sold it to me, because it's right next to 1.
About your troop.
But I don't remember.
It's literally about your scout troop.
I don't remember.
I'm just joking.
Does that ever, like, in all honesty, does that like bug you?
What? What, when people don't recall stuff or don't read it?
Don't recall or haven't read like stuff that obviously they had an intention to do so because they gave you money.
No, because all the people that I don't know that do read it, and then they come up to me and they tell me how much they appreciated it, that makes me feel better for all you people. I mean, I'm just joking. I'm just joking, dude.
Well, I remember we had talked a lot about volume 1 of Junior Braves, because obviously that was my entry point into your world before I realized, oh, this motherfucker lives in almost the same world as me.
Yeah. I live in the same world as you.
Not even by, like, of all the things.
Of all the things. No.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't bother me that when people they got lives, they don't have all the infinite amounts of time to read every single thing I've got my hands in so many pies, so to speak, when it comes to writing stuff, working on different projects.
You like having or being in so many pies? Do you find you're able to?
I've had to trim stuff back. I mean, like, I've got, I just was, before we started recording this, I was editing out 3 novellas that are helping one of my friends that he's another
novella.
Creative.
That's something I exclusively know about.
Yeah. So he had written.
That's the only thing I've done.
He had written a giant book, and
those are not novellas.
It is not, no. And I was like, you know what would be easier for people to digest is if you took that giant book and turned that into 3 or 4 novellas, and they would probably actually enjoy it, as opposed to going, this is a very big book and I can't read the whole thing because it's too big. Yeah. So why don't we do that? And John decided that was, because he was like, he that was like part of like his whole, he was like, what do you think if I do this? And I was like, yeah, that's a really good idea. That's like what you need to do, because your book is giant, dude. Like, he kept asking me, like, when are you gonna be done with your editing notes for my book? And I was like, I'm still reading it. And when I edit stuff, I read the book like 2 or 3 times. I don't just like, oh, I just read it, so I'm gonna like skim it again. I'll read the whole thing over like 2 or 3 times, because I want to read it once and just read it, and then I want to read it again and knock out all the basic stuff that, red line this, and then read it again and go, okay, I'm a dummy and I forgot that, there was,
you did say this here, and then I wrote a thing saying you didn't say this here, so put this thing back in, but I'm dumb.
Yeah, or you changed your character's tense like midway through the book. Why would you do that? I
Oh,
missed it 2 times before, and now I'm going back and telling you to do it now. I'm a dummy. And that was actually on the fourth read. But I mean, because I'll read things a couple times because I don't want to just get something out there, and because I've gotten so many notes back from editors on other stuff, and I'm like, why do they take so long? Why are these notes so stupid? And they're not dumb. It's just annoying, you know. But
sure.
I want to be the annoying person now.
Do you enjoy perusing other people's? I mean, I guess you said a long, large novella book thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Obviously, there's comics. Like, do you enjoy that aspect of it?
On the handful of projects that I've edited in the past couple of years, I like writing my own stuff, but I like editing other people's stuff too because I think that makes you a better writer. You have to read if
Sure.
you're gonna write. If you're gonna read, and if you're gonna go through and edit stuff, as long as you're editing and not trying to create, because you're not throwing in. I would do this. I would do this. I don't throw suggestions out there unless somebody's like, I'm really stuck. I need a suggestion.
Sure.
You know, what do you think about this? And then we'll sit down and have a conversation. But I'm not gonna like do that kind of thing. It's like I literally hate that when I find an editor that is not the right editor. Not that I've had that a lot, but once or twice, you know, early on,
Sure.
I've had suggestors, and suggestors definitely they should write something themselves because that's what they want to do. But you know, because that's the job is to find all the mistakes, not to create new things.
Sure.
So, but when I'm going through, it makes me go, oh, okay, cool. These are the same problems that I have when I'm writing, and it makes me a better writer in that sense because then I'm like figuring out like, okay, well, I stumble on these things too. How can I not do that in the future? How can I help someone else not stumble on this when they write their next thing?
Sure.
And helping them point that out and be gentle about it, you know, because, you know, nobody wants to have that 2 o'clock in the morning phone call that's like, hey, you're a dummy. You know, wait till 3:30 in the morning. It's a little easier.
It's interesting you saying all that because like I've heard and or experienced that on like a non-professional like friend level with like people and stuff like that. Like I've dealt with that with one friend of mine who is a pretty good writer, although I don't think he's published anything. I don't know, I might be wrong about that. But like we were working on this thing, is actually a thing I wrote, and like the edit on it was like, dude, you rewrote the book. What you doing, bro?
Why did you do that? Yeah.
You know, or you know, and then like also like having dealt with some editors where it is I've had both on those things where it's like, yeah, there's the person that's like, okay, fix this grammar, fix this thing. This doesn't make sense because there's no data to support this area of the story, which is helpful, versus like, hey, I don't know about this. Maybe you should do this and maybe tweak this and maybe also get rid of that and then add this, you know, because like both are like, I think both can help, but also like, I think, and obviously you've experienced it more than me, but it's like, you know, some people do want to write and not be an editor.
Yeah. There's definitely that, and then there's I had early on, and like several years ago, somebody say some stuff from an editorial standpoint and somebody that I don't even know what kind. I had them in a certain regard, and it definitely messed with me it made me second guess a lot of how I do stuff.
Sure.
And it's literally like taken me to now to where I am, having the partners that I work with tell me, no, you're really good. You're the reason want to I want to work with you because of these things, and that person's like, don't let them get in your head. Or people that I have edited for say, you know, like I choose to have you edit my stuff because I know that you're in that frame of mind, not like whatever. And I'm like, okay, cool. Because I've sometimes it just takes somebody that you you put on a either on a pedestal or whatever to kind of like nuke your aspirations or your inspiration
Sure.
a bit.
Sure.
So it's like it's hard to
Well,
go back and like yell at the English teacher from high school. No, I'm just joking. It wasn't. No, but
mine was from
you're,
college. I've probably talked about it
oh
to you on the show before.
oh
It was,
no, I mean I think you and I'm not the same person, but I mean we've had similar situations like that where it's definitely that kind of thing where it's like, oh man, you
I think it probably is just a shared reality that anybody who has done some writing, either high level professional or low level or even with friends, they're all the same problems
mhm,
that you would run into in dealing with writings with other people, I guess,
mhm.
would be the thing.
Yeah, and it's like it's hard to shake that sometimes. It does take a while. It takes a minute to shake that off. It takes, you know, it's like getting that I don't know, you just gotta get that new skin back on or whatever, build it up, go jump into like a video game and, you know, feel good about yourself, or, you
Sure.
know, go to the Nerf Blaster Zone place and just like be a Halo guy and with a bunch of Fortnite kids and make them all go, ow, why does it hurt so bad? Because you suck, child. Oh, I mean, I mean,
Excellent.
not that I've done that before.
Kind of sounds like you've done that. Kind of sounds like
It was
maybe you do
fun.
that on the huge, the
No, not on
reg.
the use, just once a month when you can bring in open blasters and as long as it's not too spicy.
Yeah, because they can be quite spicy nowadays.
Yeah,
Not like
yeah,
stuff when we
but
were kids.
no, but you can get this one that's out of the box and it's just like it's shooting just a little over 100 FPS. It's not too bad, but it's still just a little over. And the kids are like, "Ow, that's terrible," and the parents are like, "Oh, that's not too bad," and they're like, "Oh, that is pretty tough."
Yeah.
Where'd you get that at? It's like, got it at Target.
Yeah, right. And we're back to Target, destroying lives as well as
I
bowels.
I know, just oh man, just terrible. Destroying lives and bowels and bathrooms. Blasting. Anyways, enough of that. Boy, oh boy, Tim.
Yeah, the journey we've been on. Is there any other point you want to hit on upon Starlight number
uh,
6 for the
uh,
purposes of promotion, or perhaps maybe your own personal satisfaction?
I, you know, I'm super happy that people are that they're as excited about Starlight as we are. That they came out strong to support it off the jump. A lot of really good things to jump on and get out over there. I mean, we have digital copies at $5. So I'm going to run through a couple of these different
Oh yeah.
tiers because, you know, we got the physical copies at $11 for cover A. Um, you could, if you wanted to get all the back issues, if like you're missing something or you're like, what is this Starlight that these guys are talking about? All I really wanted to hear about was like Twisted Metal and like Bupkis and that one show Killing It that he was talking about where they're killing snakes. Sounds
I
awesome. And I
want
can
more
also,
killing in my
yeah,
podcast that I'm listening
because,
to while
yeah,
I garden my niece's nephew's lawn. I don't know.
yeah, because it's that time of year because you got to get it ready for the fall. So you
Sure.
got to put your eggshells down because Garth Swanson said so. I don't know.
I don't
My
know who
grandma
that
was
is.
watching the news today.
Okay.
So you can get all your digital issues, you know, $16. Man, just boom, all of them, back issues,
Yeah.
all six, 1 through 6. And then we have like variant covers. I mean, if people like
variant covers. We got some really nice ones that have been done up. So that's always cool. We got a couple. We got a B and a C variant cover. So one's like got all the characters on it. One's got that's a really cute one. Um, so those are super fun. And then or you can just get all the variant covers, all the physical stuff, and it's like $35. So I mean, who doesn't want that? Or as Travis likes to do, because he likes to, he's a party guy, party kid, variants, pins, trading cards. Trading cards, that's right. We have trading cards.
Oh, you guys have trading cards now?
Yeah, trading cards. Yeah, man. Trading cards are the way of the future.
That's cool.
$50 gets it all. You get like your variants, your trading cards, your pinups, your digital downloads, the whole entire shebang for $50. I mean, that's a deal. It's a steal. I mean, or you can go physical.
Are they like because I don't remember you guys having cards. Is this the first time you guys have had cards?
Yeah, it's the first time, I think. We did cards
is it like a handful? Is it specific ones each time, or do you got a straight up like booster pack type?
Six trading cards. So it's a 6-pack. We did trading cards for Battle Grapple Rebel, and it was really popular. People liked the fact that you got cool trading cards with all the different, you got your different characters on a card, a couple different scenes and stuff like that. The neat part, and people don't really know, or if they didn't know, if you only know Starlight and stuff like that, but Don Wynn from Battle Grapple he's a Topps card guy, so he does like Topps cards and other stuff like that. So when you do not like Topps Marvel, all that stuff. So like when you're getting your cards.
Also, I feel like I have to say, kids. Topps is a brand of collectible cards back when me and Greg were young.
And you put them in your bicycles to make that.
Yeah, you put them in the bicycles with your wooden clothespins, okay?
But you don't have a bicycle anymore because you got yourself a little scooter that you put your feet on, that you just like glide around on, and you just like, oh, hey, it's got one wheel or it's got two wheels. If your parents really love you, it's got one wheel. It goes really, really fast. If your parents don't love you, it's got two wheels and it goes really, really slow. But it's got a speaker inside it.
Or if you're rich, you tap the button on your Tesla app to have your daddy's Tesla come pick you up. Buy two $50 packs.
Yeah, that's right. That's my neighborhood. They got the two kids with the one wheels, and then the other kid that's trying to keep up on the two wheel scooter.
Yeah.
It's really funny. Or the electric skateboard guy, and he's like, guys, I'm trying to go as fast as I can, but I keep hitting rocks. He's falling down all the time. Oh, it's terrible. He looks like Freddy Krueger, but we love him anyways.
Jesus. Way to single out that kid. He knows who he is.
He knows who he is.
Oh my God.
He's not winning any awards at the end of the year, but he's definitely not making it every day of class.
God. We're gonna see a post on Am I Ugly on the subreddit, and it's gonna be the Freddy Krueger kid.
The Freddy Krueger kid.
He's like, hey, this guy called me Freddy Krueger. I think he lives in my neighborhood. Am I ugly?
my parents bought me an electric skateboard for the summer. It's really fast. I literally watched the kid eat it the other day. It's like, not cool. It's like, what do? We live in a day and age where when we were kids, if you fell off your bike or your skateboard, all the neighbors would come out and try to help out. Nowadays, get away from me, Mr. Weirdo that lives in the house next door. We don't know you. Like, that's a literal conversation.
I'm more concerned with the difference of like, okay, a kid falls off his skateboard. It's like, okay, I know how to treat that wound. Kid falls off a speeding ass electric skateboard. Like, I don't know. Do you just take him to the hospital?
Yeah. Oh,
like,
yeah.
What do you do?
It's like, call for the escalated and hope that it's very escalated, and they're not wearing helmets. Like, isn't that the law? Course. I don't know, but I mean, it's one of those things.
I think the universal answer is sometimes.
Sometimes. No, it's like, I don't know. Day and age, it's I feel old some days because it's like the kids they do their crazy zany TikTok videos trying to do pranks in the street, and it's like it's not a prank when you're actively trying to steal somebody's mail. That's not a prank. That's actually theft.
Sure.
And you're a step from getting the police called on you, child or high school guy.
Hey man, tell me about like feeling old. The one that always makes me feel really old. I've seen it around like the last couple of weeks on the not Twitter. Is
yes, not Twitter.
Yeah, the not Twitter.
Are you on there?
I am on there.
I haven't found you yet. I'll have to find you.
Wait, I'm confused. I'm talking about Twitter, but I'm refusing to call it the other thing.
Oh! I thought you were talking about the other thing that people have left that thing to go to. That's not
but
Twitter.
There's so many other things, and it all fucking spiraled. And who cares until the dust is settled?
Yes. Okay. So the not Twitter that you're talking about, the
is
one
actually
that was
Twitter.
Yes.
You know what was delightful? So I opened up Twitter on my Mac when I was messaging you, and it's still fucking Twitter there.
Yes, I know. It says it on my computer too. I'm like, what the heck?
Like that's
so weird.
Man,
I was very like, oh, okay. Why is it still Twitter on my computer?
But no, I was saying the thing that always makes me feel really old that's been going around. I showed it to my wife and she's like, fuck me. Was the how we think video games were 20 years ago, and it's like a picture of like a NES or a Super NES video game or something, and then they're like how they actually were, and they show like like a 3D 90s video game or something, and you're like, fuck, because it's like we remember them as being not 3D, and when in reality 20 plus years ago they were 3D, and we're like, well,
yeah, 20 years ago we were playing Mario Kart on a 64.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. and GoldenEye, slappers only.
Oh yeah.
No odd job.
Oh, I was gonna say you gotta have odd job. You gotta have odd job in there, man.
No odd job.
Gosh,
that's cheating. No rocket launchers. Yeah, no, I definitely like there it is when I feel super old. The video games, and then you get the kids that are like they'll come into the retro emporium and they're like, oh, you were there at the beginning. No, there was people before me, the ancients. They were playing the Pong.
The ancient ones.
They would play this game called The Cave. It was before it was when I started to play games, but before I knew what the internet was, before it was called the internet.
Yes.
On the Commodore 64. What's a Commodore 64, old man? Well, let me tell you. It was a box that plugged into the TV and had a keyboard and a floppy disk.
I feel like if it was an actual little kid, they'd be like, what, like one of those mini retro consoles?
Yes, like one of those, but different. Instead of having 1,000 games in it, had no games in it.
If you're lucky, you got one.
Yeah, you're lucky. We had to program our own games on audio cassettes and record them. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Terrible. Imagine that. And then everything get like funky, and then you would be like, oh no, I gotta record this whole thing again. It's like, so dumb, the sequence. So sad. Man, I just the thought. I have a few of these ancient computers, and every time I'm like, oh, I want to go play a game on it, and then I remember how much has to go into playing a game on it. It's like it's not,
get it to game.
It's not. It doesn't feel fun.
No,
it doesn't feel fun.
No,
it's not fun.
I don't miss the eccentric hoops that we had to jump through to make the computer do something cool or entertaining. I don't miss that, if I'm being totally honest.
Yeah, it's like you felt like a hacker just to open a game up because you had to put a whole entire DOS command code into it 3 or 4 times. And if you messed up, then
God, I had to do that shit for I had learning games on floppy disks. You're doing math problems and shit, and then it's like insert disk 2, and you're fucking moving around. It's like,
Disk 2. What's a floppy disk?
yeah, floppies.
Man, it's I just some days I'll sit there and I'm like, oh, I miss the trash 80, but some days I'm like, no trash 80. I don't want it. I don't want to even think about the days where I would be excited about coming home and firing that thing up and
Sure.
Like, all right, in my case it'd be like go to my neighbor's house because they had the trash 80 and I'd be like, oh hey, can we play something on there? And Uncle Bill,
Sure.
do you guys want to play the cave game? Sure. Okay. What are we gonna ask it now? And you get all excited because it's an RPG. It's like, okay, we're gonna tell it that we're gonna do this. Oh, looks like you guys died again.
God damn it!
Man.
I was just asking where the peaches were.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. You didn't go through the right cave. No.
Yeah.
Life. So difficult.
Well, now that we've come to the end of a careening nostalgia of just depression.
I know, I'm sorry. That's what we do. Starlight is over the horizon.
It's all good. Starlight. I think we should probably wrap this up.
Yeah.
Starlight, issue 6. Go 6. Get it. I'm going to get it. I haven't even read 2 of 3 of the issues yet.
You're not going to read this one either.
I got them. And I will continue to get them until these boys have reached the mountain of their arc. Because at this point, I'm committed.
You're committed. You want to find out what happens with the story of Starlight.
Yep.
What's gonna happen, Tim? You don't even know.
I don't even know, and they're sitting behind me.
And I
presumably.
Told you, I was hoping that you had read something before we started podcasting, but you didn't. In true form.
So usually,
yeah, you never.
I have powwow read all the stuff before the things. But obviously, the last couple didn't happen.
Understand.
And then those couple became more.
Well, answer me this:
yes.
If I told you about something else on the horizon,
sure,
that might pique your interest, would you read this? If you heard about a supernatural baby detective, that was a baby, that was a detective, and there was supernatural stuff. It was set here in the Seattle area, where this baby detective was on the hunt for Cthulhu and other things of that.
Is this like a boss baby in intelligence level detective?
What if it was a baby who became reincarnated?
Okay.
Or whatever. I don't know. We don't know.
You mean somebody became reincarnated into the baby?
I don't know. Well, that's an idea that maybe that's what the boss baby was, right? It was reincarnation of a reincarnation of a reincarnation of a carnation of a carnation. Carnation is delicious milk.
Oh my god! Oh, was it?
If you heat it up enough and make dolichi, you make a caramel.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah. It is delicious. Or fudge. Yeah.
So that's a thing. Is that a real thing?
What? This story that I'm telling you about a baby who's it's a supernatural baby detective?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you more about it the next time you have me back.
Oh, that's the way you're doing it. All right. I have no fucking idea, folks, if he's fucking with me or if he's dead serious that this is the next great arc from Greg Smith as the supernatural detective baby on the hunt for Cthulhu.
So I told you I've been working on a couple different projects. This is another project that I'm working on. It's not my project per se. It's my friend Kendrick's project.
Okay.
And Kendrick is he has created a world in which there's a supernatural baby detective, and this detective is going to detect things that are supernatural.
I bet. Okay.
Baby.
You've iterated that it's a baby.
I know. That's all I can tell you.
Okay, that's fine.
That's the title. And there's
I don't want you to say too much because you and Travis, you tend to say too much.
Have I said too much tonight?
I don't know.
Today? Did I? Okay, so we talked about the cock. We talked about Taco Bell. We talked about pooping. We talked about I did talk about too much. We talked about
you talked about rights to old 90s movies from Dead Men.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Which you weren't sure you could talk about, but you could talked about it.
I did, yeah. Well, I mean, Travis talked about it on another podcast, so I figured.
No, well, then it's fine. If he fucking said it, then you're like, well.
If Travis said it, anybody can say it.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, so I might as well. I mean, if he's talking about it, the world's talking about it.
Sure.
You're like
a small world, a very small world.
After all,
Yeah.
Cyborg weapons? Yeah, all that stuff.
Let me see your cyborg weapon.
You go.
It's a Hoivenflaven, I guess.
It's a what now?
Hoivenflaven, my cyborg weapon.
Okay. Sorry, the mic's going low on my ear, so it's difficult to hear. But I see that it's recording well, so it's fine.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll hear it in post.
You'll hear it in post, and you'll be like, "What the hell is he talking about? I don't know."
You're like, Simpsons I don't know.
Reference. If it was on the Simpsons,
let's play the Benny Hill theme and call it good.
Okay.
Oh, you meant like right now? I can't do that. Like there's licenses and shit.
Oh well,
you'd have to do like all the dumb YouTube shorts and TikTokers do, and have somebody on a very poor flute doing a terrible Benny Hill.
Can't we just have it in an ocarina?
An ocarina? I do actually have an ocarina. Believe
Play
it.
I
do it.
Tim, do it. Do it, Tim.
It's behind. It's in boxes.
I thought you were the master of everything.
Literally from the 90s.
You could do it. I believe in you.
I ordered it out of a Nintendo Power magazine.
I believe it. You see? It would be fitting and timely. Perfect for this right here.
It would be. Except that's not going to happen unless I decide to be wild in post.
And you won't. You heard it here first, folks. He's not letting me down after the fact, just like he didn't read the books that you should read. Starlights 1 through 6.
I mean, it is true. It is true. I should read the things that you have put your concerted effort in.
Yeah. You should read all the Starlight books. You should jump on those.
Yeah. Yeah. I should open up those packages that are sitting literally behind me. That's the awkward part. Like I found them a couple.
I see them.
Like
I see them.
Like
they're
I'll
back
just
there by your Huggies. I don't know why you have Huggies, but he's got Huggies. Are they yours? Are you wearing them? Oh my God! You literally do have not.
They're
you
a
have
card
not
of
opened
dog.
You what?
All right, I guess this is the actual finale of the show. Is me actually going through the Starlight.
He's got the Starlights in his hands, folks. Will he actually read them later on? We don't know, but he's got a Starlight.
I don't think this is you guys.
I can't. That's a dog. I can't.
It is.
It's not me. Is that somebody else? What's it? Who's it from?
It's from my grandma.
Oh, it's from your grandma. Your grandma that you're gonna go see.
Yeah, the one that I'm literally gonna go see this weekend for her 92nd birthday. Okay, so we got a Do Not Bend,
Do not bend.
with an overcast.
Okay. Yeah.
Unopened.
Unopened.
We have another unopened. Handle with care, do not bend. No overcast. So maybe that's
Where's it coming from?
Travis.
Texas? Oh, Travis? Okay. That's older.
So that maybe that's issue 2 or something.
Yeah.
Then I have this is Travis, and then it's got overcast. This one's open though. This is probably
that's a good sign. He probably read it.
Oh, so that's issue 3.
Oh,
which I did read.
That's issue 3. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, this is very exciting for our audio listeners.
I know.
I don't do videos unless they're live.
I find that cover so interesting because it's like it's so great. If people could see it, they'd be like, "Wow!" So you got 1, 2, 3.
3 packages.
Packages.
They all technically say overcast on.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just do it.
Oh my gosh, he's gonna do it! It's getting crazy. It's getting wild in here, folks. Tim is gonna open these. Oh my gosh, he broke the seal. What's inside? What's inside? I gotta know. What'd you get?
So do you know? I haven't even seen the front yet. Do you know which one this is?
I do.
Okay.
I know which one. It's
you're gonna tell me so then I can turn and see.
It's number 5.
Number 5. Oh, it is number 5. Oh shit, that's a little frightening. That's a little frightening.
Yeah. It is.
Okay.
It's number 5. It's you. Don't read that one next. We got to read all the rest of them first. Obviously. Okay, what's in the next one? What's in the next one? Oh my gosh, just lost it. You could have just sent that off and got it. You could have got it, cased up into slabbed with the mailing package.
Okay, so that's Battle Grapple.
Oh, that's Battle Grapple. Okay, well that's a delicious book too. I said delicious. My grandma's on the cover of that book.
What?
My grandma is on the cover of that book.
Where?
She's in the far corner holding a sign. She's the
oh
lady
no shit.
Yeah, that's my grandma.
That's actually super awesome.
I paid Don to draw. I backed the Kickstarter at the draw.
Grandma's cost extra.
Yeah. Well, I backed the Kickstarter at like get drawn into the cover. You know, it was like I don't generally do this, but it was a Mother's Day present. She's 90. What? She's going to be 91 years old. So it's like, you know, she's never. She's like, oh, you know, it's kind of goofy, but you know what kind of fun story, you know, could she tell her friends? Oh my gosh, my grandson got me on a cover of a comic book, you know. So it's when you can do that kind of thing, why not? So
I mean, hey, that's better than what I've not done for my grandma. I always procrastinate too long, and then it's
gonna go see her.
I am going to go see her, but like I think a long time ago I had said that I was gonna the first copy of my book I was gonna print. I was gonna give her like the 0 edition, and that never happened because I don't have any printed copies.
Damn,
sad.
That's depressing. You need to go print on demand this week and go get her a copy.
I don't think I can get one before Friday.
Sure you can. Kinko's can do anything.
Oh, but Kinko's.
Just
I don't want a piece of shit.
And then you'll put that crappy plastic binder thing on it. And
okay.
Oh, okay.
Which one is this?
3.
Oh, I don't know. There's a bunch of shit on the front. Hang on. I have a Starlight Drive-In thing in it.
Okay. It might be. Let's see. 2, 3.
Fucking open this.
Open it up. Let's see. Oh, he's breaking the seal. The little sticker on the back, folks. So
I have to rip the sticker. I'm sad now.
You could have sent it off to CCG. You could have got this like graded, and it would have been like a high, like a 10. But now it's
a 4.
Oh, it's a 4. It's 4. Yeah. All right.
Okay. So what was that? That was 3, 4, and 5.
So
proof. Literal live proof that I have.
You don't have
this. Well, now I'm wondering where the fuck is Scrape?
Oh man.
Because if those were all the packages,
Well, Scrape came from a different person, and
I'm
if you
aware
don't
of
have,
that.
and if you don't have that, then oh boy,
I
we
should
need to get.
probably say something.
Yeah, you should message that person and be like, "Hey, where's my book?"
See, that's
And then
the one thing, and I think I've complained about this forever, particularly to Travis, is like Kickstarter does not do a good job of like, hey, did you get the thing? If you
yeah,
didn't, maybe you should talk to them to remind
that's
them
true,
to get you the thing.
right?
And like, I'll go and I'll look and I'll be like, did this Kickstarter win? Scroll. Oh, it did. Well, where's the thing?
Here's the thing.
And you
Where's
gotta
my
go through.
stuff?
Like, it's like, okay.
Yeah, I kickstarted. I backed a video game, and it was like I got I guess it was like a digital download key, and it was like in my spam mail box, like my spam box forever, but I never got like I don't think I got notified that come on, just want the game. Sadly, I don't, and I think like I don't think I can play it.
That's unfortunate.
Super unfortunate.
It goes. But yeah, no, I guess I need to hit Travis up about digital versions of the comics that I just opened.
Get those
And
digital.
I guess I need to hit up
see about
guy about Scrape.
Yeah.
I don't remember his name, but I remember my impression of him was very good. He was like,
Mr. C. Reagan.
Speaking my language. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, go hit him up, find out about Scrape, and maybe be like, hey, yeah, I know you got other stuff you got going on, so you got else.
Like,
what
bitch,
else you got?
I did promotion for your thing, and I bought your thing, and I very much want to read your thing, because Sci-Fi Dishwasher sounds fucking cool enough for me to remember it more than whatever the hell happened in Volume 2 of Junior Brain.
Oh my god, Tim! Wow, the hurt is real, people. The pain, the barbs, the arrows, the slings. I can't believe what I'm hearing here. That's what it is. That's what we're at.
Listen, the opinion stated of a 4 hours of sleep, Tim, are not representative of a fully slept, fed, and non-fucked up by Target Alfredo sauce, Tim, and are not should be fully represented in a court of podcast law.
Oh, well, fair enough. You've stated your case, I believe. Well,
sure.
Yes.
And I think I have another thing of yours too, but it was it was like a collage thing, a bunch of stories in it. I think it's a horror thing.
Okay. Is it the Eins anthology?
Like it's like green and red and yellow on the cover. Green, I think.
I got a Monster Mashup.
Maybe?
That might be.
Maybe?
Maybe. It look like this? That's not it, is it?
No, that's not it.
That's not it. Okay.
No. There's something else.
Eins anthology, I don't have a copy of it to show.
I think that's it. I do vaguely recall there being anthology in the title.
Travis is in it, Mike's in it.
Yeah, everybody's in it.
Everybody's in it.
I remember reading it, but it's also one of the older ones.
Supernatural baby killer. I mean, supernatural baby detective.
Yeah.
every time I'm like, supernatural baby killers. Wait, no, that's not it. Natural born baby.
See, that sounds like one of those things. Like if you're pitching that in Hollywood, they're like, supernatural baby detective. Great, but what if supernatural baby killer? I think that's the winner.
Supernatural baby killers. There's two of them. There's two killers. They're babies and they're supernatural.
And they're trying to kill each other because of the prophecy.
Yeah.
Yep.
And one is the horn blower, and the other one is the stopper of the seal. That it's got to put the seal back on, and it's a whole entire thing. It's very much the prophecy, but with babies, and they're trying to kill each other. Fallen angels reborn unto us. Make it happen.
Just spiraling out of control at this point.
I mean,
I was like, horns and seals. Oh my gosh, it's the Wheel of Time again. And
I would watch that. I mean, who wouldn't? I bet you your listeners are like, that is the movie I want to see or a book I want to read.
yeah.
Make him write it, and I'll be like, sorry, I don't do that kind of thing anymore.
There you go. I've retired.
I've retired from that. But if you want supernatural baby detective,
you barely paused on that. You were about to say killer again.
I know.
Yeah. I think you need to talk to your friend. Be like, listen, I don't think it's this thing. I think it's the other thing.
I know, right? That would be it. That is the total. It sounds like it should be that, but it's not.
There was a face for a split second.
Face. Oh, face on yes. I think the wife has come home.
Eat a ghost.
A ghost. Yes, I think she's come home.
Oh. Well,
she's like, where are you? Why are you not greeting me downstairs for the food? Why don't we have to Taco Bell?
You can be like, this goddamn Tim guy who won't read half of my shit.
Alfredo sauce over at Target. It's supposed to be real good. Bombastic. Fantastic.
I was literally this close to like, I'm going to post this on Twitter and make like, I'm going to at Target because of how upset I am. But,
that bad.
You know,
yeah.
Well, all right. This has been a special episode of the Fork in Your podcast with me, Tired Tim, and with very much alive and writing Greg.
I'm only awake because I drink a lot of caffeinated beverages before.
I saw you drinking something when we were trying to get things to work.
Yeah, and now I'm like, how am I going to sleep tonight?
Oh, well, I was looking at the clock and I was like, well, I'm halfway through this. I'm old now, so I need to stop. I need to stop right now, or I'm going to be up until fucking 4, and that's not going to work because I got places to be in the morning.
Places to be. I got places to be in the morning too. I got to get up at 3. So,
why?
Don't you got to pay the bills too?
The other place.
Yeah, the other place. I gotta go to the other place. You gotta do that. That's what that's always the fun thing. Everybody wants you to be like this, this cool creative that makes a lot of money and got all this free time on your hands. But that's why I only work. That's why I only sleep 4 hours a day because doing the creative thing, and then I gotta do the 8 hours at the other place.
Yeah, I feel like that's the perfect thing for the meme format from Invincible. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the neat part. You don't.
So it is. We live that life, Tim. Quarter mile at a time.
I guess. You're living it more than me right now, my friend. All right. Where all can people find you and the lovely Starlite Kickstarter and stuff?
So you can find Starlite, STARLITE, at Kickstarter. You can find it for 1 through 6, a Raver versus Transdimensional Spider Wizards. You can just look up Starlite, STARLITE, at Kickstarter, and it should bring you right to that, or you can find us on the Facebooks, Instagram, what used to be the Twitters. You'll find us there with our posts and links to the Kickstarter page. And you can come and back us there if you like what we do and want to hear more or see more of this fantastic book, see the work that Brett's done,
see the writing that Travis and I have done, and see the awesome lettering that Tom has done. Tom Orszowski, Spawn. That's right, Spawn. World record holder of lettering. You can also find me over at That Amazing Twit on almost all social medias. So.
And what about any of the other compatriots that you have?
The other compatriots you can find. Let's see.
Because I saw just today there was another Twitter for Travis.
Another Twitter Travis.
Is different than
Travis Twitter.
Other one that I've been following for years.
I think he might opened it.
One of them, like he looked normal and I was like, what in the hell?
I think it's his work account.
I was like, this does not look like he's all professional.
It's a lot of professional Travis. You can find let's see. I mean, you got let's see. I'm trying to find where does Brett have
I think he does.
Yeah, he's got you can find Brett Waddell over at brettwaddell.com, or you can find him over at Brett Waddell on Instagram, where he posts stuff, and on I want to say the Facebooks. He's over there. And then you can find Travis. What does he have for his put a very long Facebook thing? He posted about the Cyborg Overture in the thing, credit writer of Cyborg Overture, which if you click the link, it takes you to the Albert Puyen movie. But this is Travis Webb at Travis R Webb 2Bs, or Twitter at WebberX, Web WERX, and that's also the same with Instagram at WEBBWERX. WebWorks. I can't spell. I can talk. I can talk and spell at the same time. I can use words. And then Tom has social media listed, so I can't give you where to find him at.
And there you have it, folks. This is the end of the show. Please stop listening.
It was a great show. Thank you, Tim. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Now you can go to the bathroom.
Now I can go to the bathroom? No, I'm too backed up for that. I'm too backed up for that.
Okay.
No, I had a thing that came out, and I talked to my wife about it, and I was like, that thing looks like that thing from the sci-fi thing we were watching where they're using the thing to kill the alien. And she's like, yeah, it kind of does.
Huh? You need to go to the doctor, dude.
No, I'm fine. If this episode never comes out, then you'll know.
Oh, God. Tim has died in the bathroom.
Yep, very much. All right. God. That's it. The show's over. Them stopping the things.
Scream out. Ah!
Thank you for listening to a Dynamicworks production podcast. You can find our podcast at www.dynamicworksproductions.com. Feel free to email us at dynamicworks@mac.com.
Armado, the voice of Guybrush Threepwood, and you're listening to a Dynamicworks production podcast.
The Citadel, Arrival, is the first installment in a series of epic science fiction short stories reminiscent of the Pulp Fiction style. It's a fast-paced story that will take you through twists and turns that you will not expect, until they are thrust upon you with all the force, excitement, and chaos of a plasma cannon blast. The story follows Katarl, a nobody cog in the working wheels of a futuristic society run completely by Megacorp, a corporation that carefully runs and manages the lives of the people living under its sphere of power. On one of Katarl's few and far between days off from work, an outing he had hoped would be fun and relaxing turns into an explosive adventure that drags him kicking and screaming into situations and challenges that will make him question every aspect of his life. Watch this colorful tapestry unfurl as Katarl and his newfound allies find their way through this classic, yet oddly surprising tale of good and evil, where nothing is quite what it appears to be. That's The Citadel, A Rival by author Tim K.A. Trotter. Available right now on Amazon Kindle Store and iTunes iBookstore for only $2.99.
Hello.
Fucking cool.
Yeah, that's rad, right?
Here, you get to see my messy behind me. I think it's messy. I don't know. I cleaned the office a little bit today while I was waiting. Yeah, it's messy. It's messy.
Mine's super messy.
Kind of.
That's why it's
Oh,
blurred.
but the blur. How do you see? I don't do. Check that out. I'm gonna do that.
There you go.
Turn it on.
If you want.
Okay. Well, I tried to blur it, and then I got this background, so that's what you get.
Fair enough.
I don't know where I'm at. I don't. Son of a. Let's try this again.
And your audio is better too. At least in terms
is
of
it
loudness.
better here? Excellent.
I don't know about clarity, but I think we'll be okay since it's just you and me.
Okay, well, that's good. I just tried to blur it. There I go.
There you
I just wanted to blur it, and now it's blurred. There. Perfection.
Hi, Greg.
Well, hello. It's better. It's better audio with the microphone now. You can see it in the. Can you see it? It's right there.
I mean, you can see it about as well as you can see my microphone.
Yeah. Well, when I usually record, well, and this is the funny thing is like, so I have this microphone, and that's what I record everything with.
That's
a lot of the stuff.
That's what I had recorded with for years. I'm just gonna unblur it. This has nothing to do with. Actually, how do
I can see all of it. I see all your garbage, all your stuff.
How do I unblur it after I blurred it?
You can't unblur it when it's been blurred.
Here we go. So I have the successor to that now.
Oh, look at that. Okay.
Yeah, and I got the little shock mount, and I got the ridiculously
The
overpriced
thing.
arm, and
Yeah.
all the things. But yeah, no, that the Blue Yeti mic that you were holding there, that's all the other shows you've ever done with me was with that mic. So I am very fond of that mic.
It's a good mic. It does the job. Travis hates that mic. He thinks that he's like, so he went and bought this, the whatever I'm using now,
It looks like are you running it with a XLR plug?
No, it's a USB C,
Okay.
but it's a Marantz MPM 4000U. It's a nice mic. It's a nice mic, but he was like, we need the same microphone because he wanted to do a podcast together, and he just all of a sudden he got sick and all sorts of stuff happened, so he did not have time to do stuff. And
It sounds like that's kind of always the case with Travis.
yeah,
At least every time I'm talking to you about Travis, it's like yeah, things were great, and then they weren't. And
well,
yeah. So it
I
goes.
mean, it's just how it is. There you go. You disappeared. Everything disappeared on the screen, and then now I got you back. I can put this back, slide this back over here. I don't have enough monitors set up over on this in this workstation.
Okay.
I'm used to having 3. This is a sad attempt at 2.
I mean, if it
Makes
makes
me
you feel
sad.
better, I'm using one right now with a
Oh,
webcam, and
one.
at my work desk I have. Well, I'm using a laptop, but I'll have the laptop screen, and then I have a much larger monitor behind it. So in effect, I have 2. I'm doing like the vertical work.
See, my other desk is like I have my actual work set up on it, and I'm running a work computer trying to do a backup, and I can't move it. So, but for some reason, everything's tethered into. I have a TV and a large monitor over there, and over here I have. It's okay.
Fair enough.
It's what I had set. I had it set up for podcasting, and then Travis got sick, and my other podcast host that I do stuff with doesn't care what I sound like, and I'd like to look at stuff on the big TV. So
Fair enough.
I know it's so dumb.
It's a little bit. You have the exact like polar extremes. One who doesn't care at all, and then another who cares maybe too much.
One who cares too much and we can't ever record, and one who doesn't care, just wants to record.
Yeah.
Honestly, like we could just like want to record something and just like he'll just set up a computer and just like talking to the microphone on the computer. I don't care.
I mean, that's not the way to do it, in my opinion. But
hey, that's sometimes that's what gets it done, and sometimes we're about getting things done, Tim.
I don't even have. There we go. I just kicked it on. I guess it doesn't matter. I don't usually record podcasts during the day. So
why not?
Because I don't.
Too early.
Yeah, no, it's early. Okay, well, we should do a thing. Everything's rolling on my end and working as it normally is because obviously the other thing decided no.
That was weird. I was talking, you went ding and disappeared, and I said, "Oh no!"
Well, see, I didn't get that. I got disconnected from network, and I was like, "I don't think so." And then I got that whatever I typed there, chunk bulk error, and then I tried to hang up the call, and none of the buttons didn't work.
Oh man!
So I was like, "Well, that's enough of this."
Well, it was an interesting attempt at trying something new. I applaud you for stepping out.
Yeah, obviously
with your best foot forward.
They need to fix that. I know it's a new feature. They just added it in March, and like I applaud that feature because it's exactly for this specific type of.
And scenario. When it works, I'm sure it'd be great.
Yep, when it does that, that'd be good too. Also, I noticed it didn't have video, and like now. Feel like we're all accustomed to video, and it makes. I know I do video with my podcast co-host, whether we're live streaming or not, because it's just better, a little more.
You get the facial expressions and stuff like that. See,
sure. Yeah,
or
you know, you can just like do like the different hand gestures and stuff.
Oh, that stuff. I get it.
You know, my podcast co-host, he's got two little kids and he's got cats. So I'll just see like the mic, I'll see the level just drop, and I'll see like a cat like attack him like while we're recording, and he had the foresight to hit mute before it happened.
That's good. Just smart.
Well, we should do a thing.
Okay.
So let's do a thing.
All right.
You've probably done this enough times. So we're gonna do a simultaneous 3, 2, 1 countdown, and then we're going to yell into our microphones, cut in. It'll give me my editing marker.
Okay.
And so we'll do that. So say it with me. 3, 2,
2,
1.
1.
Cut in. Oh, I stopped.
Oh.